All right, guys, we're back with another episode, and I don't know what I'm going to label this one. You'll see it because you'll be on it, but maybe I'll be proud to be an American. Maybe that will be the title of this episode. But anyways, we're going to get into some more stuff. Man, I definitely don't want to get too far in the weeds and do this like every week, but I can't help it. There's so much stuff going on right now. It's crazy, and it's news that I really want to share, and a lot of you gave good feedback and said keep sharing it. So I definitely, like I said, me and Jimmy got to set a day aside, and we're going to try to get several episodes recorded. I'm hoping like at least 4 to 6 in one setting. It's a marathon, but it's worth it. It's not. I'd rather just sit down and knock a bunch out and then give them to you guys, where we have a lot of episodes covering a lot of things. Sky busting is definitely going to be one of them for sure. I can tell you that right now. There was some crazy stuff going on on Facebook. Man, right at the end of duck season, I think. But anyways, people were going all over the place. It's just some of that stuff with the sky busting thing really bugs me. But it's one of those things that I really just turn an eye to it anymore. It used to bug me. I even put some videos on the YouTube channel about it. And it used to really fry me, but I would say my shot-taking decision-making has changed a lot. Am I able to take them farther? Yeah, I still can. I have some every once in a while, but anyways, just the thought process behind why some people do it. They are very close-minded, and I don't want to dig in the weeds on this. I might just do one myself and then have Jimmy on too, but that's going to be coming up as far as topics with Jimmy Mueller, and then some other stuff that I've written down during the season that I definitely wanted to cover. I knew I wasn't going to do. I kind of like mid-December. I kind of knew. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to try to do anymore. We talked about doing some, me and him, and it just didn't work out because he was either out of state hunting or I was gone hunting or something. So, anyways, that's okay. Needed the time off, anyways. Speaking of, what was I just talking about? I was talking about sky busting, but there was something. Oh, social media. So, it's weird because I temporarily deleted, Instagram and Facebook because I'm doing some things on my own personally that I wanted to take a break from. But I think I'm going to permanently, and I will say permanently, I'm like 99.5% sure that I am permanently going to shut down Facebook, my personal and Mid-Valley Mercenaries. I thought I had them temporarily disabled, but someone told me the other day, hey man, where you at on Instagram? I can't find you. Then they asked about Facebook. They're like, oh, you're on Facebook. I'm like, what? I shouldn't be on Facebook either. Like, the whole point was to disable from everything. So something is haywire there. Facebook just basically makes it impossible for you to get off of. But I got to go in there, clean that mess up. And it's personal reasons. To me, there's just a bunch of trash on a personal account, and I can't have a business account like Mid-Valley Mercenaries without having a personal, which I do not agree with. I don't know why they make it that way, but it's very frustrating because I wouldn't mind still having it. But there's been so much stupid stuff popping up on my Facebook that I've never looked at, don't want to look at, have no desire to look at, and I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm not going to deal with it anymore. It's toast. It's over. So that doesn't happen on Instagram, and Instagram has a lot of good tools to speak to people because we don't have each other's numbers or whatever. Because I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like debating on getting rid of Instagram too as well. What's funny is this is the second time I've basically been at the amount of followers I am right now before I deleted it last time. So Instagram last time I had like 17,000 and I deleted it permanently. And I didn't have it for, I don't know how long, a year or two. And then I got it again, and now we're almost back to 17,000 again. And it's just one of those things where it's like, what do I need this for? Like, I need people to like stuff that I post. And I need 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 likes on a video. I know it's cool for people to see. I agree with you on that. People like to see like wildlife photography. I do too. But it's such a time waster, and everybody in the ground can say, oh, you got to do it in moderation, have some self-control, but I don't know anybody that does. No one here listening to this right now can tell me that you have not spent more time than you planned on spending on Facebook or Instagram. And I'm not knocking anybody for that at all. Zero. I'm just saying 100%, I think everybody would agree. And if you're not, you're in denial that it is a time waster. It really is. Now, can I say that about YouTube? Absolutely, 100%. Can I say it about this podcast? You listening to this guy could be potentially a waste of time. Now, I don't want it to be that way today because I want to share the stuff with you that involves you and I, very much so, and some other things coming along because I want to talk about some things are with the IRS being audited, and then Doge, and then Social Security and stuff like that. And I'm going to play some clips for you that I think you'll really enjoy. I got really good feedback from the last one, and I don't necessarily I want to talk about politics a lot. I don't really want to on this, but when there's stuff that's very interesting for me, I like to share it with you guys because I think it's interesting for you too. And I want to kind of keep you abreast of what's going on. So anyways, back to the social media thing. I'm going to stick with the YouTube, and I'm going to probably put some pictures on there, but I just don't spend the time and waste the time like I do just sitting there scrolling. I seen someone the other day. They're on Facebook and they're scrolling and talking to somebody. Their thumb was scrolling through Facebook and they weren't looking at their screen. They were talking to somebody. And they probably did that for 10 seconds. And I thought, I don't know if I've done that yet, but that's the whole thing is your brain's just wired. It's just a habit. And there is a billion things that I need to be doing besides getting on Instagram or Facebook. So anyways, I don't know when I'll open up the Instagram again. If I do, I'm not sure exactly yet what I'm gonna do that. I'm leaning towards deleting it. Facebook for sure is gone. So anyways, that's that. I don't know how many of you even listen to this podcast that are even on social media. I think a lot of you probably aren't, and then a lot of you are. So kind of giving you a heads up. If you can't find things, haven't seen things, giving you a heads up of what's to come. Like I said, I don't know why the Facebook MVM is still up, but I got to get rid of that for sure. So anyways, let's get into it today. And before we do, reminder, molar chokes, get 10% off. Put in MVM 2024, all one word, all caps. You'll get 10% off. Man, I heard something the other day. I heard a little bird told me that the choke prices went up, and I do not know if that is true. Let me look at this real quick. They might have been looking at some different ones, but I'm gonna verify with you right now, except the fact that this site is not working. Why is that? It does say that the office will be closed. I wonder, surely they didn't shut their... Okay, there we go. All right, let's see. Let's pull up a Benelli choke. Everything's sold out. Okay, they did raise them. 12-gauge waterfall choke for Benelli Cryo Plus. They did raise their prices. Okay, well, even more reason to put in the 10% code. I can verify with Jimmy, but I do not believe that's a what I will call, since I'm hearing the word a lot lately around for politics, it's not a clawback. I really don't believe it's trying to pull back the money that was lost from the issues with the warranty. Man, I'm trying to remember what it was. Was it $134.99? I want to say before. Now it's $149. It was either what was it? I want to say it was $134.99. Now they're $149.99. So I'm going to tell you right now, the bottom line is it did go up, and you're going to probably say, well, yeah, you're going to support him because you guys work together and stuff. That's fair. I'll take that. But I'm going to tell you something. It's worth every dime. And the thing is, it's lifetime warranty. So if something happens, this thing splits or cracks or does something weird in your gun, he's going to send you another one. I promise you, Jimmy will take care of you. He's always taking care of people. The problem was people took advantage of him and his system. I know there wasn't everybody doing that, but there was a majority doing it. I know that for a fact. So, because he actually called the majority of those customers back, and that's what they told him. So, that's an answer to someone's question that said, how do you know that they honestly didn't like it and pattern bear and all this stuff? It's because he called them. That's why. So, anyways, that getting out of there, it's 10 minutes in. We're already in the weeds, but I wanted to share that information. So yeah, I'll verify that the price did go up on the waterfowl. So they are $149, and then if you want to get one of those fancy ones, they're more than that. So that's $169. So, anyways, the thing is, it's not like the other ones. Yeah, they're a little bit cheaper, but it's worth it. The patterns, what it does on the water, like you said, it patterns good on paper. You're like, oh man, I could have did a little bit better on paper. Well, what's it look like when you shoot it in the water, right? Does it absolutely? Are you going to shoot a choke that when you shoot it on the water, if it's a cripple, it goes all around it and doesn't kill the bird, or do you want to shoot one that implodes on that bird and destroys it? It's not going anywhere. That's my thoughts. There's all a lot of other reasons, but anyways, and that being said, I track my shooting percentages and they went up this year too. So that might be a podcast topic we do. So let's get into what we're here for. So the IRS is being audited. We are auditing the auditors. Can you believe that? And he is for sure today and last night spoke of, it's like a for sure deal that they're putting into place, doing their best to do. I don't know if that takes an act of Congress or what, but they are definitely getting rid and planning to try to get rid of the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, replace it with the External Revenue Service, the ERS. And I say, bravo. And I couldn't be happier with that decision to do. They need to be audited. Why are they not? What business, what company has never been audited anywhere? Oh, because they're above us. They can't make mistakes. They can't be wrong. They can't falsely accuse and come after people that are innocent. Baloney is what I say to that. Okay. So they're talking about returns. In fact, before they started talking about returns, me and my dad were like, they almost, almost feel like they need to give us money for all the stuff they've ripped us off for all these years. Well, and now it's come out, and they're talking about returns, and hopefully I'm not getting ahead of myself. Make sure I'm not, because I actually got a lot of notes here. And I got stuff to do, so I can't make this. What time is it? 4:52. Yeah, I got to make this probably. I can probably only go in about another 25, 30 minutes. So let's get rolling, okay? There was a lot of money. They call it clawed back, meaning it went out. What was that? Some 52,000 that they try to rent these rooms for, or something stupid. Actually, it might have been a lot more than that. I want to say it was in the millions. But they went, after everybody was in place, they went behind the back of some government officials and was trying to rent out these rooms for these illegals. That got clawed back and pulled back. But what I want to dig in today, one of the things, is Social Security fraud. I can't tell you how many times, I'm 41, and I've been told, well, I hate to tell you guys this, I hate to break the news to you, but by the time you get old enough for Social Security, there ain't going to be nothing left. How many of you guys have heard that? We've heard that. I've heard that since I was young. I've heard my parents say it. I've heard other people say it, other elders say it to me. And there is major fraud going on. In fact, okay, I got a picture for that. I snapshotted a screenshot of what is happening. Listen to this. Guys, this will blow your mind. This will absolutely blow your mind. Okay, here we go. So here's some numbers. All right. So according to the Social Security database, these are the numbers of people in each age bucket with the death field set to false. Okay, so this is how many people. Well, let's just start with this. So what, in other words, how many people in this age bracket that are getting Social Security checks? Okay, so from 60 to 69, there's 46 million. From 70 to 79 ages, this is the age bracket, right? 33.4 million people are getting Social Security checks. Okay, that makes sense. All right, 70 to 79. People that are still alive from 80 to 89, there's only 15 million of them getting Social Security checks, okay? Because now we're getting older. A lot of people maybe ain't making it into their 80s, right? But there's still 15 million people getting cut a Social Security check every, whatever it is. I don't know what they get it once a week or every month. Okay, now we're starting to get we're getting a little shady, but not too shady yet. 90 to 99, it's less than half of that. It's 6 million, right? Okay, that's believable. 90 years old to 99. And you could say, man, there's that many people alive at 99. Well, it's 90 to 99. So, I mean, 6 million. Okay, if I was to guess, which I'm guessing and I have no clue, 6 million people getting a check for that are in that age bracket. I could see that, right? In the whole United States of America. Here's where things start getting shady. Okay? 100 to 109. Let's say that again. Ages 100 to 109. There is over 4.7 million people getting a Social Security check. Now, that's not even the shadiest thing yet. That's far beyond shady right there. It's shady, but it's not crazy. Do I believe this number? No, I do not believe this number. I'm just telling you right now, I do not believe that there's still 4.7 million people on this earth that are 100 years old. Even if they all were 100 and they're on their deathbed, I don't believe that. But it gets so much worse. Now, mind you, this is money that you and I, if you're in the ages of, from birth to whatever, let's say 50, you're whenever you collect Social Security, which could be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, whatever it is, this is all should be going in there. We're all putting in for it. It should be there. It always should be there for us, right? But they're dumping checks to people that, are they alive? Let's get a little farther into this, okay? 110, I don't even know why they have this bracket this high in the first place. The next bracket is 110 years old to 119. There's the oldest person that ever lived on this earth was 119, okay? And I'm not even going to Google how many people are alive that are let's just say 110, okay? I'm not going to do it because I promise you it ain't 3.6 million. 3.6 million people that are from the ages of 110 to 119 are getting a Social Security check. Does anybody listening to this believe that for 1 second? I don't think so. There is not 3.6 million people on the face of this earth that are 119 years old. Okay? But yet we're saying and writing checks for 3.6 million people. Let's just say right now, guys, if that was, I'm just making up a number of $500. 3 million times $500. Well, I gotta turn it this way because, okay, that is, my brain can't even work that high. Is that 1.8 million? No, not 1.8 million, 1.8 billion. So 1.8 billion, no, that ain't right either. Why can I not figure this out all right now? I think it is. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. There's a lot of zeros. A lot. So let's just say, because that's 3, yeah, that's right. It'd be billion. So think about that. Okay? That's why I don't even want to say billion, because I'm thinking that can't be right. Can it? Oh, yes, it can, because 3.6 million. So no, that's what that is. That would be, oh my goodness, what is that? That's embarrassing. I mean, I know what a million looks like. I mean, I've never seen the cash for it in my life, but I know what it looks like on paper, right? But let's just see. Yes, thank you. Okay, so I was off. Okay, so it's 1 billion, 1,800 million. So I think I said 1.8. I'm not that stupid, guys. Come on, cut me some slack here. I'm like looking at it and I'm saying, is it really a billion? Holy cow, how's that even possible? But it is. So 1.8 billion. We haven't barely started yet. Okay, it goes crazier. from the ages of 110 to 119, 3 million people. So that's costing us $1.8 billion for people that aren't even alive. Where's this money going? Who's getting this money? Okay. It goes farther. 120 to 129, still 3.4 billion, guys. Million. Still, this is real. This is absolute truth data coming from the Social Security Fund. It goes higher. 130 to 139, 3.9 million people. What in the world? This is a trip. Does this not blow your mind? When I seen this, it blew my mind. It gets worse. 140 to 149, they're saying there's 3.5 million people in the United States that are getting a Social Security check from the ages of 140 to 149. Does that not blow your mind? Well, it doesn't because we know the corruption. It's seen there. It's just sickening how many places they were weaseling the money through, right? It's just sickening. So my question is, how did they not see this, or was that the point all along? Who's on the other end of these payments? Where's it going? And according to White House Steve Miller, Deputy Chief of Staff, DOJ is still trying to route these payments back. So they're still working on it actually at this moment. Supposedly, major foreign fraud rings that have been using these numbers to steal billions. So they've been stealing billions. Foreign fraud rings is what they're saying right now, that this money has been going to up to 500 billion. They're not even done yet. 500 billion. They got some work to do, which completely adds up with those numbers I gave earlier about the 1.8 just for that one age bracket. Okay, so I'm going to play a clip for you. Listen to this. Okay, so they're still in billions. And actually, let me pop this up, get it ready where it needs to be. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, plugged in. Make sure the volume's good. Listen to this.
Can you give assurances to people who faithfully pay their taxes
this is Steve
in this
Miller.
country? The DOJ isn't just going to go randomly sifting through the records and maybe come across the personal private records of a lot of Americans.
It's so annoying how they keep doing this. And this is, believe it or not, this is Fox News. But I know they're asking that because everyone else is. And I'm thinking, who in American citizen is even asking this? Are you joking me? We know that the IRS has known way too much about us. There has been no privacy for years. And they've dug way too deep into our personal information. And now all of a sudden, you guys want to worry about what they're digging into and if they're going to get this private data? Give me a break. They have your social security number. They know everything about you. They know where you live. They know how many kids you have. They know how much money you make. They know everything about your account. Are you joking? Stop asking the stupid question. But listen to what Steve Miller, this dude's legit. I love this guy. He's a bald-headed dude. And I promise you, I'm like, is this guy reading a script? And I'm not talking about on the news right here. I watched him do a speech not long ago with Trump. With, what's her name? Caroline Levitt. And it was him and two other guys. And I'm like, he went on for a rant for like 10 minutes. It's crazy. It's amazing, actually. And he never missed a beat. And I don't think he had no teleprompter. I could be wrong, but he was looking at all the people. It's crazy. So listen to what he says when they're sort of worried about, should we be concerned? Let's see what he says.
I can give absolute 100% insurance. I give you complete and total assurance on that point. We are talking about performing a basic anti-fraud review to ensure that people are not engaging in large-scale theft of federal taxpayer benefits. I mean, for example, we pay billions of dollars a year in child tax credit payments to illegal aliens. Billions with a B. So these are systematic, programmatic reforms that we're talking about here. And as far as protecting the secrecy of tax records, the IRS has been weaponized at the career level against the American people for years now. This has been one of the most invasive arms of the federal government, engaging in capricious and politically based audits, leaking taxpayer information for political reasons. We are restoring the neutrality We are restoring ethics. We are restoring security controls at IRS. In fact, one of the big projects that DOJ is going to be working on is upgrading IT systems and software so that our taxpayer information cannot be stolen by criminals or foreign governments.
Meanwhile, if you turn on...
Okay, so there he says it right there. I mean, think about that. That's what they're doing for us. So imagine giving money to tax-paying citizens rather than illegals. Guys, come on. Think about it. We're giving our taxpayer money to illegals. Why? What's going on here? I see exactly why liberals don't want IRS audited, because that's where they're sifting their money through. Just one of many places. I mean, I went over the last episode what they were embezzling money from is what they're doing. Anytime a U.S. official, a government official is coming out, a multi-millionaire, something is wrong, and it's coming from somewhere. I can tell you where it's coming from. It's coming from me and you. That's where it's coming from. And that is why the liberals are freaking out of their minds, because they are so worried about all the stuff that's going to come out of them, and it's going to. In fact, I don't really know what they think they're doing by doing this. Like I said last time, they're waving a flag saying I'm guilty. So I'm thinking, if I was you, I would pack my clothes, I would get on a plane, and I would leave the country. You treasonous, sorry scum of the earth. Leave the country. You're not an American. You've committed treason. Get out of our country and go somewhere else. And you better hide out somewhere deep, dark cave, because they're going to come and find you. Instead of plastering your stinking faces all over social media, all over the news, all over CNN and Fox and all these other news networks, throwing fits and screaming and hollering, what in the world do you think it's going to do for you? You're toast. Like, you screaming and trying to get people worked up around you, these fake people that are probably holding these signs up, on the news. I'm thinking, dude, if there ain't nobody in that crowd that it's a normal tax-paying citizen. These people are getting paid to be there and acting like people care. They're trying to play this agenda on the news, on these liberal news channels, and that's why I'm so thankful there's these good ones out there now. I'll tell you what, I'm not saying to watch Forbes, but Forbes actually does pretty good. I was surprised, and you should see the comments in some of their videos. If you check out Forbes' YouTube channel for news, it's actually pretty good. I mean, it's not that I don't know if they really have an agenda, and I'm not saying I've looked deep into them, but what I have watched and seen the feedback from people watching them, like, hey, you guys just let it play. You don't try to hide anything or whatever. So I don't know. For whatever it's worth, you might want to check them out. But anyways, what's going to happen when they get audited is we're going to see all the liberals dirt and unfortunately, when I say liberals, that doesn't mean Democrat or Republican. That just means liberal. You are not in support of your country. You're not American. You're stealing from us. You think we owe you something because you're sitting in the high up in chair. I'm going to tell you, we don't owe you nothing. And they're up a creek. They're up a creek. And guilty people scream the loudest. Guilty people scream the loudest. And we're going to see all these dirty secrets from these people, whether they're Democrat, whether they're Republican, are taking our money. So next thing I want to talk about is they are going to audit the National Treasury. And Trump said, I watched the deal where he said the gold better be there. The gold better be there. And I thought, okay, why wouldn't it be? I'm thinking this is mine. But now all of a sudden I'm thinking, wait a minute. Trump knows things, and Trump ain't wasting his time. He's making accountability for everybody, right? And okay, so let me give you some information about this. This is actually mind-blowing, okay? I didn't know this, and unless you dig into things, you wouldn't know this. And you guys might find this pretty interesting. I thought this part was almost more interesting than anything I was going to share on this podcast, and this is the last part of this podcast, okay? So stay with me. But they're going to audit the National Treasury, which is where all the gold is. And Trump said that all the gold better be there. The last time, guys, that it was looked at, and I don't even say audited or confirmed everything was there, was in 1974. Can you believe that? 1974, where only one vault of the 15 was opened. Why? It was a publicity stunt. It wasn't an audit. It was a publicity stunt. that they were trying to make this big old deal and say, okay, this is what we got here. We'll let you take a sneak peek inside. 1974. That is how long. Over 50 years ago it has been. And you don't think there's some corruption going on there that they don't want to show? Oh, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait till he goes to Fort Knox and checks that out. There is supposed to be 4,580 metric tons. I say tons again. Almost 4,600 metric tons of gold. Okay, that is supposed to be there. In 2021, so just recently, Alex Mooney tried to audit the National Treasury by a bill and do a full inventory. And guess what? You're never going to believe what happened to this gentleman shortly thereafter he died. What? Do you think that is coincidence? I say nay. I say I don't think so. Why is this so important, you say? Why are you bringing this up, Titus? Okay, so because Trump is trying to fix our national debt. We're what, $37 trillion in debt, which that's changing now with some other Doge funnies. But check this out. The government, this is where it gets interesting. The government values gold on its balance sheet as an asset at, guess what? At only $45 an ounce. That's what the government, it values its gold on a balance sheet. $45 an ounce. You're like, wait a minute. Yeah, you're thinking the same thing I am. The market for gold is valued at $2,900 an ounce. I didn't check today. I know it was about $3,000. Highest it's ever been, right? So the market is valued at $2,900 an ounce. And we have 4,580 metric tons of gold. And I say again, tons. So Trump is, what he's trying to do is revalue our gold holdings to match up with the market. Right? Why is this showing only up for? So if you're saying it's only $45 an ounce, then it's not going to line up, and the debt thing can be completely revalued, and our gold holdings can match up with the market like it should, because that's what it's worth. Okay, it ain't worth $45 an ounce. If that's the case, go ahead. Give me about, let's see, what could I do? Let's see, if it's $45 an ounce, you know, why don't you just slap me on about, I'd say, I think 20 pounds would work. So let's do this here. Let's just see what that would be worth. 20 pounds. We're just going to do this divided by. Okay, that is 16. Okay. So that's 320 ounces. Because I said 20 pounds times 2,900. Yeah, that'll work. That's almost that's a cool 928,000. 20 pounds of gold on the market is $928,000, guys. I'll take it. Because I mean, okay, let's figure this out. Let's do. Let's see what that would cost me for that. Let's see here. My brain's working okay, not too crazy bad. But I said 20 pounds times 16. So that's 320 ounces times 45, 14 grand. Hey, I got the money. I will pay 14 grand to get a return of almost $1 million. All right. That's the numbers we're looking at. Stupid, right? So he's even talking about revaluing our national treasure gold to be more than the market, like up towards the $5,000 and $6,000 an ounce, which would instantly solve the national debt crisis, right? And so I'm going to pull one more clip for you. The Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, said this very, very odd. Listen to what he said when he found out and he caught wind of Trump headed to Fort Knox, because I think he's announcing stuff as he goes. I don't think he's giving people too much of a chance to like try to get things out in advance, which is very smart here. So listen to what Scott Bessent says on the news here. You're going to find this very interesting.
One thing potentially that could happen, and people are questioning it, is maybe remarking gold. Elon Musk, who's leading Doge, was talking about maybe going to Fort Knox to make sure those gold reserves are there. That comes under your purview. Do you have any plans to visit Kentucky?
I don't have any plans. I can tell you that we do an audit every year. I can tell the American people on camera right now that there was a report September 30th, 2024. All the gold is there. Any U.S. senator who wants to come and visit it can arrange a visit through our office.
Hold on a second. What do you mean any U.S. senator? This guy looks like a stinking rat, too, just by the way. Pull him up. Scott Bessent. Bessent. He's lying through his teeth. It was not audited last year. 100% it wasn't audited. There's no proof of that. Oh, what? Did you audit it? No, we're talking about people on from the outside. You can't audit from the inside, pal. Sorry. It needs to be audited. It's a government deal. It needs to be audited to safekeeping of the national treasury. And he's saying, oh, yeah, it's been audited. In fact, the sad part is he's the U.S. Treasury Secretary. That's the scary part. But then why is he saying just the senators can come check it out?
Gold was your biggest holding when you were a hedge fund manager before you divested to become.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. It was his biggest holding personally?
The Treasury Secretary. So you know the value of where gold is right now versus where it's marked on its balance sheet, just north of $40 an ounce. It's close to $3,000. Is it under consideration for this administration to revalue gold?
I think that somehow when we were talking about the sovereign wealth fund and I said monetize the balance sheet, I can promise you that's not what I had in mind.
Yeah, I bet, buddy. I bet that isn't what you had in mind because the shady stuff continues on. So that is pretty much going to wrap today's. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. I think it's pretty interesting information, and it's a good background to know about this stuff and to see this stuff. There's some guys that I watch. My dad sends me stuff too, so I'm kind of getting a constant influx. I don't really watch the long videos. I watch some of the Trump's executive orders and like his speeches because a lot of times he says stuff new, but a lot of these YouTube channels cut stuff short so you don't have to watch the whole thing, but you get the new information. But a lot of times those people won't put that stuff on either. So anyways, I wanted to put that out there. I thought you'd find that really interesting about the IRS, not the IRS, the Social Security, and then also about the National Treasury. That was kind of really intriguing to me, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what are they going to find? You know, what are they going to find in the IRS? What are they going to find when they audit the Social Security? What are they going to find? Well, they already found stuff in the Social Security. I just went over that. But what are they going to find? I don't know why. I want to know so bad if that gold's all there. I cannot wait to find out. I don't know when he's going to Fort Knox. I thought it was like a day or two ago because this was from the 20th, which is at the time recording yesterday. So I thought he might be there now. I don't know. He might be there today or maybe Saturday or maybe it's going to be next week. But anyways, so thought I would share that with you guys. I'm so glad what we have and what's happening. It's constantly, you can't even keep up with it. It's mind blowing. You'd be on YouTube all day and on the news all day just to know every single thing that's going on. Not to mention all the stuff that's going in the background. So anyways, I applaud the team. I applaud the people. Since last time RFK Jr. got finally sworn in, and then awesome news, Kash Patel was sworn in. That was huge. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Him and Pam Bondi are gonna wreck people. I cannot see, I don't want people to get hurt, but if you've committed treason, if you're against the American people, yeah, I want to see justice happen. I'm sorry. Get your bags packed and head to Gitmo. That's where you need to be. You don't deserve to be in this country ever again. You've been stealing from Americans for years. Hit the road, Jack, and don't come back no more. We'll see you guys on the next one.